Welcome to the Sick'em 365 Baylor Basketball Postgame Show. Here's your host, Ashley Hodge.
This is Ashley Hodge with the Sick'em 365 Postgame Call-In Show. I'm going to be joined by King McClure here shortly. We're going to break down the excellent second half, at least from the Baylor Bears. What a game. You were there, Walker. You've seen a game in Foster before, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. But you've been doing post-game stuff, so you haven't been to the last few games. But what an atmosphere. Baylor outscores them 53-37 in the second half. They were down maybe 11-13 early in the second half, and it looked like it was going to be one of these games where you're just like, really stressing. But fortunately, as Bobby Knight once said, he looked over on the sidelines. He was pretty upset at being down double digits, but he saw Dale Brown on the sidelines, and I think Scott Drew looked over on the sidelines and saw Rodney Terry. He knew there was hope, and the Bears get it done. The Bears had some excellent performances tonight. First of all, Jalen Bridges was phenomenal. He was 32 points, 9 rebounds. What a night on senior night. RayJ Dennis had a terrific second half. He turned it over a little bit in the first half, but he ends up with 8 assists and 4 turnovers, really controlled the game in the second half. And Jacoby Walter, after only 2 points in the first half, I believe, ends up with 15, did a terrific job getting fouled, through those screens. He's a master at that. And he draws 4 of those, ends up going to the free throw line 12 times, makes 9 of them. Baylor was the difference, and the free throws was pretty glaring. Baylor shoots 42 free throws; they go 34 for 42, and Texas only shoots 21. But hey, a lot of those were at the end of the game when they're fouling on purpose. Rodney Terry quote: "You probably haven't seen this yet. They needed every call they could get today in terms of getting it done." Talk about sour grapes. This guy's something else, man. All right, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. I know King's probably got a good relationship with him. So before King gets here, this guy, last year, he's pushing women's basketball players, makes a ridiculous accusation that hasn't seen the light of day, thank goodness. But just unbelievable low character move on his part because he knew he shouldn't be pushing, women's basketball players in our gym. There was an argument over who should have the court, before the game in Waco last year. And they're front runners last year. They get up big and, they lose that game. And same thing today. And then, the horns down, the whole lecturing the UCF players about the horns down. He says, this is not classy. We celebrate with class whenever we win. They beat Baylor at the buzzer, and he's jumping around like a little kid, pumping his fists. I remember, last year in Texas, they beat Baylor in a close game, and he's starting the lawnmower 5 or 6 times at the end of the game. He's so excited, so kudos to him. He's 2-2 against Scott Drew. They've won their home games. Baylor's won their home games, so they've split those. Good team, probably eventual NIT champions this year. I think if they lose to Oklahoma, and with that injury to Dylan Dessou, you hate to see that. He was playing terrific. He looked injured the whole game, and he went out with a knee injury. And I don't think Dylan Mitchell is fully healthy either. I think he's been struggling with some injuries. Brock Cunningham comes in, commits some cheap shot fouls again. 5 fouls for him. He fouls out. I don't know. Max A. Smith was unbelievable. Great performance by him. Baylor gave him some early open shots, but in the second half, he was making tough contested shots. He did a really good job. We got to give him his flowers. Tyrese Hunter started strong, wanted really no part of the action. I thought down the stretch, he looked nervous. Got some good minutes from Horton off the bench. I mean, no, he started. I'm sorry. He played well in the first half. But anyway, the Bears get it done. Great win. Great come from behind win in a game that could have gone the other way, certainly. There should be a lot of calls tonight. 254-339-1122. Let's get them loaded. Let's talk about this great victory over the Horns.
All right, we got one call from Waco.
Welcome to the postgame show with Ashley Hodge. King McClure should be here shortly. You're on. He's out.
Oh, hey, Ashley.
Oh, there you go.
It's Will.
Hey, what's going on, Will? All right, you got a story.
You?
You got a story to tell. Let's hear this.
Yes. So, me and my buddies on the student session wearing out just everybody from Texas on the bench, on the sideline, the fans just wearing them all out. And late, Baylor was shooting free throws, I think, and we were up. I figured we were going to win. I was wearing Rodney out, telling him that he needed to lose with class. And finally, he turned around, blew his lid, came over yelling, got security over and said that they needed to get me out no matter what. And so the police came over
soft.
and I was escorted out of the game.
He is so soft. The softest coach unbelievable. It's on brand. It's on brand. This guy, I can't tolerate it. You what?
Yeah, just the stuff him telling everybody to win with class and all this junk like
lose
that.
with class, exactly.
Dude, you got to lose with class if you want to win with class. But apparently, he's not very good at either.
Yeah, they're interesting. I think all the bracketologists have them safely in the field. I don't know, man. They go 8-10 in the Big 12 because with some of the injuries they got, it's a home game, but Oklahoma can beat them. And if they end up going 8-10 in the Big 12 and then lose their game in Kansas City, and they're banged up. That injury to Dylan Dessou is a big injury. I don't think. Is that a tournament resume? They did nothing in the non-conference. Their non-conference schedule was pathetic. They played LSU. It was top 100 team. That's their only top 100 win in the non-conference. Everything else is in Louisville 195, Wyoming 173. They lose their only games against decent opponents in the non-conference: Connecticut, Marquette. It's just a soft schedule. I just don't see it. I don't see how this is a tournament team. Are you gone? Will's gone? All right. Thanks for the call, Will. 254-339-1122 is the number. Call in.
We got another call.
Let's hear it. Welcome to the postgame.
Hey, Ashley, it's El Mariachi.
Hey, what's going on? Where are you? You're on spring break right now, right?
I am. We're at Disneyland and out in sunny California.
Nice.
That's what that background noise is. I'm in line at Peter Pan. So I skipped riding the Space Mountain to watch the end of that game because that was amazing. I had to see the comeback in person. At least it was on my phone, but still got to watch it. So my question to you is, why are you so hard up on Rodney Terry? When Scott Drew inevitably leaves to go to Louisville, which is what I see reported from all the Louisville fan boards, Rodney Terry's got to be the front runner to come replace him at Baylor, isn't he? Isn't that what's going to happen?
Oh, God forbid, man. Yeah, I'm interested to see if he ends up being retained by Texas. I don't know, man. I guess they got some good wins this year. They beat Baylor. That's their best win. I just don't think this is a tournament team. I think they have a shaky resume, but they played pretty well. They beat Texas Tech on the road. That was a good win for them. But we'll see. You look up and down the resume, and other than the win against Baylor at home, they just don't have much quality there. So whether they make it or not, and if he doesn't make it, I think Texas will fire him. They have no patience for that.
Yeah. Well, in all seriousness, tonight, what did you feel like was kind of the tipping point, or kind of what changed the momentum in favor of Baylor? It seemed to me like it was around the time Brock Cunningham started getting all his cheap shots, like you said, and then it seemed like that sparred our 14-2 run to where we kind of took the lead and never looked back.
I think at one point we were shooting 67% from three. I think that helped. we really shot the lights out from three.
Bridges himself or just
yeah.
Goodness.
Let's see what we ended up. We ended up 9 for 13, so that was 69%. Yeah, so we ended up 69%. Did a really good job driving the ball once we got in the double bonus, making sure that we were getting most of the stuff at the rim. I just thought it was great coaching adjustments. They came out and we gave them, a couple easy possessions. RayJ turned it over, led to a Hunter layup. I think Weaver picked Jacoby Walters' pocket in the first half. We just were playing soft. And the second half, we just were the tougher team. We end up out-rebounding them 36-21, just totally crushed them on the glass. Great win. I mean, just a tough, toughest team wins. We were much tougher in the second half. And they had like an 85% probability of winning that game with like 13 minutes in the second half. But the Bears just really buckled down on the defensive end and really forced them into difficult shots the rest of the way. Enjoy Disneyland. Enjoy that Peter Pan ride. Thanks for calling in.
All right, man. Tell King I said what's up.
I will. Yep. Take care. 254-339-1122.
Yep, we got another caller.
Other calls. Let's go through them.
From Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, is this Josh?
Oh, yeah. You got Wimbo Bear, Lukey Bear, Grant Bear. Hey, listen. Miro Little fan club here, driving back to Dallas, heading back to ATL, Atlanta, Georgia tomorrow morning. All I want to say, A. Smith was torching us. We put Miro Little in. You go watch that game. He's not the same player after Miro Little D'd him up. But we're Miro Little fan club to get that guy some more time. And by the way, he makes with turnover. Don't just pull him out like he's some sort of, eighth grader that you got such a short leash. That's all I say there. Okay, secondly, I really want to give a shout-out to Rodney Terry. I really feel like second-half adjustments. You're going into the second half, you got like 8, 10, 12-point lead, and he made a lot of really good adjustments to lose that game by 8 points. So he's always been a real chess match maestro. Want to give him credit there. And then my final thought, what was our final thought, boys? I had like a third point. Oh, yeah. I almost got warned and kicked out of the game because of some antics of a guy next to me yelling at the ref, but I'm not going to talk about that. I met the great Pratt Davis. It was an incredible night. And I feel bad for Dessou, but I thought he looked injured before the injury. I don't notice that.
He did not look right. He did not look right. Yeah.
He seemed like he was legitimately sick, or he just was huffing and puffing. He didn't look good. So I feel bad. That looked terrible. His foot was messed up. But anyway, give Miro Little some time, believe in him, and that was an amazing. Honestly, I'd rather beat Texas than Kansas. I'll say it. I hate them. Go Bear.
It's equal to me, but yeah, I love that win. I mean, that was great. We're not going to play him again anytime soon. Certainly not going to do a home and home with them. I mean, we may play him in some, NIL games, somewhere neutral at some point, or some kind of tournament situation. But we got scoreboard on them for a while, so that's a great thing. Did you know, Walker, that of the last 17 games that Texas and Baylor have played, Baylor has won 14 of them? What's that percentage?
14?
Yeah.
You said of the last 17?
Yeah, so 14 divided by 17 would be, let's see.
Yeah, 82%.
82%. That's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah. All right. I gotta say, this is a comment. 2 weeks in a row, we've had the security line up protecting against a court storming. We're not going to storm the court against anyone. I mean, we might have against Houston because the comeback was so incredible, and they were number 2 in the nation. Maybe. I doubt it. I mean, our program's not at that point. You're wasting your time. We're not storming the court against Texas. I mean, we've beaten them 14 out of 17 times. We're not going to storm the court against those jokers. Kansas, maybe, but we split that series in the last 5 years. It's 5-5. So, and we've won 4 in a row at home. I just think it's funny that they're putting so much effort into making sure the kids don't storm the court. That's not happening. We're at a different level right now. That's not of interest to us. 254-339-1122 is the number.
Yep, we got another caller.
Got calls. All right, I love it. It's a good night. Let's celebrate this. Welcome to the Postgame Call-In Show with Ashley Hodge.
Is it me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, what's up? Yeah, I mean, that was a great win. I just want to say I'm a little sad that going forward we're not going to be looking at the schedule and saying, we're playing Texas at home, automatic W.
It's been a while since we've lost to them, yeah. When's the last time we lost to them?
Yeah, but
It's been a long time.
I got no clue.
Maybe 2016,
yeah, man.
2017. Yeah. No,
I just thought Bridges was awesome tonight. I am so glad Bridges did not go to the NBA last year because,
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't have him this year, I don't know. I'm just so glad we have Jalen Bridges.
Hey, you know what? And we're about to get Langston Love back. That's another weapon. That's another big weapon.
I know. I thought he was going to go tonight. I know people were saying that he looked like he was going to be playing in warm-ups, but I don't know. Getting Langston Love back with how this team is playing, I hope it's going into the tournament.
We got to give a big shout-out to Josh Ojewuna, too. I haven't talked about him.
Yeah.
He wasn't really on his A game, I thought. You know, he played okay, 7 points, 8 rebounds. Josh came in, finished around the rim well. I thought he played really good defense. Ends up with 10 points, 4 rebounds, makes his 2 free throws. I thought he gave some good energy. There was one possession. I think Miro missed a shot, if I'm not mistaken, and Jalen Bridges got the rebound on it. And then Josh pulled down a really tough offensive rebound. And then Miro got another rebound. It was like 3 or 4 rebounds on that possession. And I thought that kind of demoralized Texas. Again, we are rebounding the ball extremely well. 36 to 21 on the glass. Texas is a good rebounding team. I mean, they got some big guys, athletic guys, Dylan Mitchell, obviously Caden Shedrick is a good rebounder. I mean, they've got some good rebounders, and for us to really just control the glass like that was big time.
Yeah, man. I mean, Josh was a guy that looked like at sometimes near he was just lost out there. So it's huge having him play good.
Yeah. No, he's playing. He's coming around. Eve is great most games. Jacoby, as we mentioned earlier, was pretty tentative. I thought the first half he had a bad first half, but he was terrific in the second half. Played with a lot of aggression. Yeah, we ended up with 13 turnovers. Do you know how many? Let me see if I can find out how many we had at halftime. I don't know if I can do that easily.
I want to say it was 11.
11. I think you may be right. So we may have only had two turnovers in the second half. That sounds right. Yeah. 13 total. But in the first half, do you have the first half box? Okay, yeah. Yeah, anyway, we did a really good job taking care of the ball in the second half. That was good. Yeah, great win. I don't know where King is. He said he's going to be here in a minute. It's been like 10 minutes. Would love to get his comments. I'm sure he has a different perspective. But 254-339-1122 is the number. Thank you for the call. We got another call?
Yeah, we got another call.
right.
Talk about Jalen Bridges.
Let's do it. Jalen Bridges, big time tonight.
What's up, Ashley? It's AJ. Woo!
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. I want to, first of all, give a big shout-out to my boy T-Rex for helping me acquire a ticket.
Nice.
So, T-Rex, thanks, brother. He's got to call in now after I'm calling in.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, man, Jalen Bridges, man, what a game. I thought in the first half he kept us within striking distance.
Yep.
Because we were just, give Texas credit. They hit some big-time shots, especially Amos. And Bridges really kept us, within, around single digits. And, man, what a great job he did all night long. What do you think on his NBA prospects? Is Jalen a guy that you think can make an NBA?
He's putting together some really good a string of games, man. His efficiency's going through the roof. He's rebounding better. I think his defense, he's getting steals. King, you want to comment on that? Jalen Bridges, NBA prospects?
Yeah, I've been impressed with him a little bit. Especially tonight, he showed that he could do it off the bounce, and he's gotten so much better. Coming in here, he was more of like a 3-and-D catch and shoot type of guy. And then he progressed in order to do the defensive things, the rebounding, just the little things to help you win. And now that he's shown he can put the ball on the floor, and it looked like he was comfortable.
Right.
There was a few times tonight where he would have a drive, spin move, be able to change directions with smaller defenders on him, be able to make plays with smaller guards on him. So I've been impressed, and I think that his draft stock is slowly rising, and especially in a year like this where the draft isn't very strong. It's not strong at all. So I think in a year like this, he's a guy who could be a sleeper and maybe sneak into the second round.
Yeah.
some way. But I think
his age is going to be used against him. But
Yeah.
I mean, NBA, 3-and-D role players, that's
6'7",
valuable.
very
7-foot
valuable.
wingspan.
Yeah.
He would argue 6'9". I think he's listed at 6'9". You think he's 6'7"?
Yeah, he's about 6'7". He's about 6'7".
Yeah, he's got long wingspan. He's rebounding well. He's showing a lot of toughness. I'm impressed. And tonight was one of his best games, probably since Iowa State in the tournament last year. He had a great game against them, but tonight was a win, so that was even more impressive. Was this your first time at Foster? Because I know you've been doing games.
I did the Cornell game.
Oh, that's right.
But this is my first time
in a Big 12 game.
In a Big 12 game with the atmosphere, not actually calling the game
and doing it as a fan.
Doing it as a fan, and it was amazing.
That place was rocking the second half, man.
It was amazing.
All right, so obviously that was an emotional game. You're like, as a Baylor fan, you're like, what's going on? Are we going to lay an egg on senior night? And we were talking about this earlier. Like an 85% chance of Texas winning, according to the ESPN stats, at like the 13-minute mark.
Yeah.
And then what happened? We got to Rodney Terry was whining about the free throw disparity in the post game, but I felt like they just fouled us a lot. Brock Cunningham just gave away 5 cheap fouls, and most of them were when we were in the double bonus already. Jacoby Walter drew 8 free throws on those screens that he's so good at.
Well, I think the reality of it is they came out extremely hot.
Yep.
Like those guys, I don't know the exact percentages. We got to have a sheet, but those guys didn't miss at the beginning of the game.
There was one time early in the game, under the 10-minute mark, they were shooting like 75% from the field, 70% from.
They didn't miss.
Right.
So
kind of like the game in Austin.
Yeah.
Similar.
Eventually, you got to come down to reality.
Right.
And that's what they did. They hit reality, and it got so bad to the point to where it was like a 33-9 run towards the end of the game, but they just came out extremely hot.
Yeah.
And some of the shots were wide open. We let Max Abmas get too many clean looks early. And he's one of those guys, when he gets hot, it can be a long night for you, and it was a long night.
Yep.
But I think eventually it just cooled off. And I think the biggest thing that we're not talking about is missing Dylan Dessou. Yeah. I think he's a game changer for those guys. And
was he hurt before the game?
Yes.
He was limping.
He was hurt. He was hurt before the game.
Okay.
Because if you watch I was in the truck, and I was listening to the interview with Rodney Terry at half, and he said that Dylan Dessou was hurt, and he was giving all that he had.
Right.
And in the second half, he'll come out and do that.
He didn't look right.
To watch that, and then he goes out there, and honestly, the injury didn't look good.
It happened right in front of me.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
It wasn't Jonathan bad, but it was bad. The knee was twisted in a different direction. I'm no doctor, but that looked like a season-ending injury. Yeah.
And it sucks because he's a guy who has been injury prone his whole career, and he provides so much. Yeah, he provides so much for Texas, and when he's out there, he can space the floor, he can score down low. He just provides that versatility that Texas needs and that offensive scoring that they lack when he's not there.
Right.
So with him being out,
why is everyone so quick to put them in the tournament? Have you looked at their resume? I'm serious. They're 8-9, and they got to go to. They have Oklahoma coming to their home, but they could lose that game, especially with Dessou out.
They could. That's definitely a losable game.
If they lose that game and they go one and done in the Big 12 tournament, they're 19-13, and their non-conference schedule is trash. They beat LSU, but that's it. That's LSU's not a great team. It's okay team, but they played a very weak non-conference. They lost to Connecticut by 10. They got trucked by Marquette. And that's it. They have nothing to hang their hat on in the non-conference.
Yeah,
TCU's kind of the same way too. But TCU is solidly.
Yeah, but I think TCU is actually legit.
Yeah, they got some good wins. They beat Houston.
I think those guys are legit. But when you kind of look at Texas's roster, I got a chance to. I did the Texas TCU game, and that was my first time really diving deep into the game and really just being able to watch Texas. And they're an interesting team.
Right.
They're kind of confusing a little bit because you would expect them to be better than what they are.
Right.
But they're just not on the level that you would think that they would be at.
Yeah.
When you look at the talent that they have, you look at a guy like Max Abmas, but then you also kind of realize a guy like Tyrese Hunter is not really a scorer.
Right.
He's not a scorer. Weaver's not a scorer. I mean, IT Horton scored, but
Yeah.
it really wasn't like very efficient.
Right.
It just wasn't, what you would want it to be at this level.
They rely on Dessou a lot.
And they rely on Dessou a lot, but Dessou has gotten so much better. Out of everybody on that team, I would say that Dessou and Mitchell have gotten the most better because everybody knew what Max Asmus was bringing to the table.
Right.
They knew he was good. But Mitchell and Dessou have gotten it's a vast difference from last year to this year, especially Mitchell.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Mitchell will play in the NBA, and I wouldn't have said that at the beginning of this year.
Right.
Because I just didn't like his game last year. He tried to do too much.
Yeah.
Now if he just rebounds and plays defense.
It's kind of a modern day big. Yeah.
Yeah, you rebound, play defense, maybe learn how to shoot a jump shot, and you can slide down to the three. But Dylan Dessou is somebody who I was really high on. And, I mean, to see what happened to him, like, I hate to see that. But, it's part of the game, the injuries. But you hate to see, especially a guy who just, I don't know, he's not really arrogant. He doesn't really talk much.
Right.
He just is about his business and just wants to get better.
Yeah.
So you hate to see that happen to a guy who just puts so much into the game.
No question. All right, we got calls.
We got a couple of them.
Yeah, awesome.
This one from Temple.
Welcome to the post-game show with Ashley Hodge and King McClure.
Ashley King, what's up? This is Brent Wilson. How you guys doing?
Hey, Brent, what's going on?
What's up, my guy?
What's up, guys? All right, I got a whole group of guys here. We're here out in California skiing right now. We're watching the game. Saw your call-in show. Got a few different things we want to talk about. First thing, we want to rank the most hated players ever in the Big 12, and it's really hard for me to think of somebody over Brock Cunningham. I got Brian Davis is up there pretty high.
Yeah.
But I feel like King might have a few that we could put on the list. But like, if we're gonna say who are the top 5 most hated players ever to play in the Big 12, I got Brock at 1. So who's 2, 3, 4, and 5?
The Morris twins. They were a little salty.
Cunningham at 1. Oh.
I mean, the man got ejected from back-to-back games. I think all he did today was foul. No, he's not good.
Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy?
I mean, who else?
Brock Cunningham is 2 wins away from being the all-time winningest player in Texas.
Really?
That's history.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Okay.
That is crazy.
That's
All
a
right, hey,
that's
guys,
a COVID.
guys.
That's a COVID thing.
Yeah. So hey, I love Baylor basketball. I've watched Baylor basketball a long time, but I would just say that you can't, like, the all-time Baylor winningest player would not be our best player.
100%.
So, like,
100%.
I don't think that's a great stat to use.
Yeah, right.
100%. But I mean, it's a cool stat, right? You know, you can, if he's Brock Cunningham, you can always say that. But a guy like Brock Cunningham, who's been there for forever, I feel like it shouldn't count.
I think Vital was the guy. I know AJ Walton was at one time.
No, it's
Flo
Flo.
Thamba.
It's Flo.
Oh, Flo.
Float. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Right.
I'm trying to think, Brent. Though, who else was really hated in the Big 12?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. You quit trying to be nice. You're
Oh
like
my
a
goodness,
politician now.
Perry Ellis.
Perry Ellis.
Perry Ellis.
But he was a pretty mild-mannered guy. I said the Morris twins because the Morris twins.
But Perry Ellis was there, like, he's kind of like a Brock Cunningham. Just they're way too long. Like, what are you still doing in college?
Right. I remember, back in the day, like, I couldn't stand that some of those bigs that Texas had. This is way back, like Jason Klotz and.
Oh, you going before me?
Oh,
yeah.
They got a whole run of like old white guy bigs. They were terrible. Brian Boddicker. And then there was that other 7-footer that always set the moving screens. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I have to go back. Luke Axel.
Yes. Yeah, they had a bunch, but yeah, I mean.
Would you say Austin Reeves? No.
The point being, they
Austin,
can't name anybody worse than Brock Cunningham.
Yeah.
Hey, solid point that
Brock is
neither
up
one of y'all
there.
can think of somebody you hate more than Brock.
Brock is up there just because he's got a reputation for a dirty player, certainly. But yeah.
All right, second one here. Who has made a worse decision to transfer besides Hunter? Who is I think he scored 30 points in the Sweet 16 game. Was first team or was newcomer of the year in the Big 12, I think. Transfers from Iowa State, who's going to be a 2 seed in the Big 12 tournament, and is playing for a team that might not make the tournament.
Right. Would he beat out Lipsy though? I don't know.
No.
Lipsy's
no.
better.
Not
Beat
even
out who?
close.
Right.
Not even close.
Right.
No, he made a horrible decision.
Yeah.
And it's one of those decisions where you kind of look at it and you're like, man, like what were you thinking? And the only thing that comes to mind is that the money.
Yeah.
Like you had to go get a bag at Texas.
Right.
But to be a guy who started at Iowa State your freshman year,
you got the keys.
You have the keys to the vehicle.
Right.
You're on a team where you're gonna get the ultimate fan support.
Yeah.
And you're at Texas, you don't get that same level of fan support that you get at Hilton.
Right.
Right. I mean, they built the new arena, so maybe you might, but it's not Hilton.
Right.
So for you to have the fans, have the keys as a freshman, play well, and then you transfer to Texas. Yeah, that right there is what we call listening to the wrong people. Listening to the wrong people.
Good call, Brent. Anything else?
I would think that Iowa State would have good NIL money. Like, doesn't he get paid there?
Yeah, no, you would think that, right? But I mean, I think that Texas money might hit a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what their budget is.
All right. Hey, is there any chance that we're going to get Jalen to come back?
No. We barely got him back this year.
Yeah.
We barely got him back this year.
Well, I'll say that. I'll say this though.
I heard actually put big money into it.
Well, two-way deals, or I mean, you're probably talking. You'd probably have to be more competitive than a two-way deal. So that, I mean, that's a pretty big financial commitment. Because you get two players for that same amount, two starters probably. But man, it'd be awesome to get him back if he wanted to come back. But he's probably done. He probably wants to start his.
Man, I knew he was done when he was thinking about going to Australia.
Yeah, right.
They started talking about him going to Australia as opposed to coming back. Like, you don't want to be here, sir.
Right.
You don't want to be in school.
But he's been a great teammate. He's
been a great teammate. He's done. I don't think he wants to do the school part.
Right.
And I think that's the part that gets to him. I think he loves the basketball, but he doesn't want to do the school part.
Right. Yeah, I get it. A lot of guys are like that. I mean, it's, Yeah, good.
Well, he
good
does.
Comments.
His draft stock does seem like it should be going up, like you said.
Yeah.
A big guy who plays defense, that shoots what he does from three, shoots free throws. I don't see how he doesn't. His draft stock isn't at least climbing.
He's like so efficient. He's the perfect teammate. I think he should be first team All Big 12. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have the stats to be first team All Big 12, but his efficiency has been through the roof, though.
Ooh, first team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. Does Baylor have anybody on the first team?
Well, I mean, RayJ and Jalen would be the only ones I think would.
But does RayJ even get on the first team?
I don't think. I don't think so. I mean, just because they don't put the stats up. They don't put the stats up. I mean, but from an efficiency standpoint, I mean, Jalen's like 130 offensive efficiency. I mean, it's going to go up after this game. I mean, it's like he's just like a tremendous. I mean, he just makes you. He makes you better. Do you think he's Baylor's best player? Or do you think?
Jalen
I mean,
Bridges?
I don't know. RayJ, you can make an argument for RayJ.
Yeah, I think talent-wise, RayJ is your best player.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to the Mr. Do-It-All and the guy who you need, and I think that's Jalen Bridges. He holds it all together. Right. I want to say he's a glue guy, but typically glue guys don't really score the ball like Jalen does. So I wouldn't really label him as a glue guy. But
he's been scoring it.
I think that when you talk about just pure talent, I think that RayJ is your most talented player. I mean, he makes moves. He does things. I'm like, goodness gracious.
And I mean, Jaden Nunn, he didn't have a great game tonight, but he's been playing really well. And, of course, Jacoby and Eve have been incredible for freshmen. You look around the country, and there's not many freshmen contributing at the level they are. I mean,
no, you're absolutely right. And I think part of it is just, I mean, Jacoby's not a guy in which he's going to go get his own shot.
Right.
He feeds off of a guy like RayJ. Right. So pairing those two together was actually perfect. Honestly, pairing RayJ with Misi too is perfect. I mean, the way RayJ makes him look off the pick and rolls, catching lobs and hitting him on the pocket, allowing him to be able to, like slash to the rim at a high level and finish those crazy dunks that he does. I mean, I think that RayJ is just the perfect piece in what Baylor needed. I think out of all the transfer guards that we could have gotten, RayJ Dennis was the right fit. I mean, you could have got a Max Asmus. You could have got a
So you're saying
Tyler
that
Perry.
Jacoby and Eve should be giving RayJ some really good Christmas gifts.
Oh, 100%.
It's kind of like the quarterback that buys his offensive lineman
100%. Look, a guy who averages 6 assists, 100%.
Yeah,
he makes them look good.
He does. No doubt about it. Great call. All right, we got other calls waiting, don't we, Walker?
Yeah, we got another one. Just here to talk about second half.
All right. Welcome to the Postgame Call-In Show with King and Ashley.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Going good.
I just wanted to say, like, the defense, we kind of sorted it out in that last 10 minutes, but we really can't let it go and get that bad to where we let up 85 on Texas. What do you guys think of the switching defense? I know we went to the zone, back to man. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think it kind of gave them a different look. I think for the longest that we just couldn't get a stop. And I think that we finally were able to string something together. And honestly, I think it's more of a mental thing at that point, because for the whole game, I mean, you see this team just shooting lights out. So in your head, mentally, you're like, man, we cannot get a stop. So then when you finally get one, it's like, okay, we finally got one. So now you get more amped on defense and more locked into where you're like, okay, now we can get two. Yep. Now we got two. So we do a drill in practice. It's 3 stops in a row, but you got to get 3 perfect stops in a row. So that means there's no offensive rebounds allowed. Coach Tang used to be so crazy. He used to say we couldn't allow the offense to get to the paint. Right. We had to protect the paint. But the reason why we would do that is for moments like that. Yeah. Where you had to get 3 stops. You had to string something together in order to get back into ball games. And that's why you work on those type of things. So I think it was a mental hurdle more than anything. Because defensively, I mean, they were active. It wasn't like the shots they were hitting. I mean, there were some open ones, and that's just part of the game. But a lot of those shots were just tough buckets that Max Aisman was hitting. I mean, he's a good player. Yeah. So I think ultimately, once they were able to get 1 or 2, 3 stops, and they were able to string something together, they finally got over that hurdle, which, took them to the top and honestly got the separation. But when you look at it, I mean, 50 points in the first half, they're only down by 6 or 8.
Yeah, they should have been 6 because they ran a perfect play to Jaden. And he missed.
And they should have been down by 18.
Right.
They should have been down by 18.
Yeah, Bridges saved
Texas.
us. Right.
Texas probably played one of the best halves of basketball. I mean, 1 turnover, shooting probably like one of the best percentages from the field that they've done all season.
They took the fight to Baylor. I mean, they were the more
100%. They should have been down by 18.
Came out kind of soft. Yeah,
they should have been down by 18 in that half. But to be only down by 8, it was only a matter of time that you knew Baylor was going to get going in that building. So you're right, though. The defense it has been a concern. We really haven't guarded that well in the past, honestly, 2-3 years. Yeah. So defensively can definitely be a challenge. But when they're locked in, I think the biggest difference, though, is like last year's team didn't want to guard. Yeah. This year's team cared. Right. They care. They want to guard. I just don't know if they're that good at it. Right. You watch a team like Kentucky, like them dudes don't want to guard. Right. They just want to outscore you. Right. And that works for them because they got 3 dudes shooting over 43 and that are high-level NBA prospects. Right. But this team cares. They just have to find ways to get better at it. But at this point in the season, you kind of just are who you are. Right. So you just got to get hot. Yep. And that's the biggest thing. So, but you're right, though. The defense has to be a concern going into the tournament. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, just making sure. Yeah.
Appreciate the call. We got some others, Walker?
All right. Yep, we got a couple more.
All right, let's roll through.
Got T-Rex.
Hey, what's up, T-Rex? How you doing?
Hey, we got the former valedictorian of his high school on the phone. Not me, but King McClure. Little known fact. Yeah, man, I know everything. That's kind of weird. Anyway, I looked it up, actually. I needed something. I want to real quick, AJ kind of brought it up earlier when he called in, but, about tickets. I want to give a shout-out to all the fans, all the season ticket holders who gave me tickets, not just last year, but this season, especially with Foster being smaller and hard to get a ticket. Without you people giving me tickets to then give out to, our alumni in need, our students who need tickets, and in my opinion, most importantly, the Waco locals that we want to convert into Baylor fans. Without y'all, Foster Pavilion is a waste of space, in my opinion. So every seat was filled all season long. Foster's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. Our fan base tonight really kicked it into a new gear, I think. A little less reactionary and more proactive in, being loud. We're not waiting until the team gets the ball to the three-point line anymore before we decide to make any noise. We're yelling the second they inbound the ball. So keep that up. Foster's crazy. Ping, I wish you could have played in Foster, man. You guys deserve Foster. So shout out to all those people that did that. I'm just the guy passing the tickets along. So without y'all, this fan base, the greatest fan base in the world. So anyways, man, just imagine having all that money and still having a program that belongs in the camp underneath I-35 in Austin, man. Like, there's a poverty program. All that money, I've never seen so much money get so much poverty. Like, if you don't have a banner, and we're not talking about NIT champs, print the shirts, UT, because that's where you're going to be. You probably won't even lose to some school with 7 acronyms in their name, in the first round. Oh, yeah, shout out to ECU, by the way. Yeah, dude, like, just as a concerned taxpayer, especially with the economy where it is, I just really wish that I could get a refund because, man, like, I'm about to file my taxes, and I'm just glad that we don't have state income tax because that'd be even more money getting wasted in Austin. Jeez. Anyways, Team McClure, you're the best. ESPN's, lucky to have you.
Yeah.
But also, shout out to that sideline reporter, I'm just saying. If you know, you know. Victim. That's all I got to say.
Man.
Yeah, baby. I love y'all. Single man's horns down forever. Woo! Prophecy fulfilled. Yeah.
All right.
Listen, you get home safely.
All right. T-Rex, always entertaining. We've got another one, Walker.
Yeah, we got a couple more. This is one from Virginia.
Hey, welcome to the Postgame Show. Ashley, Hodge, and King.
Hey, Ashley. Hey, King. This is Steven from Virginia.
Hey, what's up, man?
I had 3 things I wanted to bring up, and the first is that, like, from 2000 to 2009, Texas beat Baylor 22 straight times.
Wow.
And since then, Baylor is 23-10 against Texas in the last 33 matchups.
14-3 in the last 17. Sheesh. Yep, good stats.
So I think we know who's running from the fight. Tonight was like the best one of the season for me. I wanted to ask King specifically if he thought Jaden Nunn was in for a Davion Mitchell type jump if he comes back next year.
Oh, that's a really interesting question.
He'll probably be back. I mean, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Beginning of the year, when I watch Jaden Nunn, I actually kind of made that comparison of a Davion Mitchell, but just the way he moves and his mentality, like the way he moves with the start stops, doesn't shoot it great right now. He cares, he works hard. He's the defensive first type of guy, not crazy athletic, but athletic enough.
Fearless.
Very fearless, very tough. I think that, and it's hard for me to really get on board and 100% say that he's going to have that Davion jump because Davion was a top 10 pick in the draft.
Right.
But I do think that I see a lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah.
So if he comes back, I think that he will take a major jump. I think he's a guy that cares and wants to work hard. But to say he's going to make the Davion jump, Davion, he shot like 45 from the 3 his last year at Baylor and turned into a legitimate lottery pick. I mean, that's hard to do. And then next year's draft is probably going to be way tougher than this one.
He was the best player on the court almost every single game he played. I mean, Jared was Maceo. We got to give all 3 of those guys their props, but I mean, Davion had another level of athleticism.
He did, but I do agree with you in a sense of there's a lot of similarities, and I think that he will take a huge jump. But I'm interested to see what they do because they're gonna have Miro and Jay Nunn. So do you get another guard? Wright. Oh, and Rob Wright. Yeah. So, but do you get an older guard? You get a veteran guard?
Yeah.
Because I heard Rob Wright is one of those ones. I heard he's that guy.
Yeah, there was an NBA executive that sat next to one of my friends, and he was singing Rob's praises. He says, Rob is like made in a factory to play point guard at Baylor. Like, this guy is tough. He's a Philly kid. He's got like a winner's mindset. He doesn't turn the ball over. Yeah. He's got the ball on the string. He can shoot it. He just understands how to manage a game. Like, we'll see. I mean, Big 12 is a different level, different level of physicality.
Jake Lindsey texted me and said he's the next one.
Interesting.
Jake Lindsey texted me randomly and was like, Rob Wright is the next one. He's one of those ones.
Right.
So he put him in the category of like, this guy is in the next big guard from Baylor.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Then you got VJ Edgecombe. also.
And you got BJ. I mean, look, I ain't like Baylor.
They're gonna be
I
loaded.
don't know what we're
card.
doing, but we're doing something right.
Yeah, they're gonna be loaded at guard.
We're getting guys.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how much of a jump that he takes with some of these freshmen coming in, with Rob Wright, BJ Edgecombe coming in.
Will be back. I like.
Yeah, I mean we'll be loaded in the guard spot, but I think he'll take a major jump. He cares, he works hard, and anybody who's a defensive first type of guy is a Scott Drew type of player.
Yeah, no doubt. Great question. All right, Walker, what we got?
We got another one from LA.
It's good you don't have school tomorrow.
Spring
break.
Jarrett.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Postgame Call Show with Ashley and King.
Good. Yeah, just comment on Rob Wright. He's the most important player on the best high school team of all time.
Yeah.
So if that's saying something.
Ooh.
There's a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah,
the best high school team of all time. Ooh.
Were
they
better?
Were they
Langston
better?
Love, Scotty.
Better than Cade and them.
You think they were better than
Barnes.
Cade Cunningham?
Scotty Barnes was on that team too. Right?
Better than that team, yeah.
You think they're
so.
better than that team? Ooh. Hold on, we got to pull it out. I got
Cooper Flag.
I got to do some research real quick.
Newell. I mean, there's probably 5 or 6 top 30.
Yeah. We got to look this up because I think
Langston Love is on that Cade team.
Yeah,
so.
right.
What year was that?
Yeah.
20 what?
2020, 2020,
2019 maybe.
Yeah, let's see. Because I think you make a really good point, but I can't fully get on board with that one yet.
It's a good one. It's close.
Yeah.
You got Dariq Whitehead, NBA player. Yeah. Cade Cunningham, NBA player. Moses Moody, NBA player. Ryan Nembhard.
Oh, Moses Moody was on that team.
Ryan Nembhard. That's the one at Gonzaga. Because Andrew, I get them confused. Andrew's the one in the NBA, but Ryan's probably going to be an NBA player, so maybe, but we won't count him. Scotty Barnes, Langston Love.
You got it. I think you got to give the nod.
Caleb Houston, Dayron Sharp.
Oh gosh.
Zeb Jackson. Man, this team was loaded.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, the team this year is loaded too, but that was.
Hold on. I'm going to the roster this year.
We'll have to wait. Yeah, have to wait.
Let's see. Robert Wright.
But yeah, I was also going to ask.
Cooper Flag, Asa Newell, Derek. Nah. I can't. Because on here, on paper, I would say that 1, 2, 3, 4 guys from this team I think would be legit NBA players from this year's team.
Yeah.
And the other team had like 6.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's close though. It's very close.
I mean, Cooper Flag will probably be the.
I would say Cooper Flag might just. Right. Well, I mean Cooper Flag, Cade Cunningham.
Probably similar. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of cancel each other out.
Right. Yeah, interesting. Is that it? Any other questions?
I was also going to ask King, what's been your favorite game to call since you've worked for ESPN?
My favorite game that I have called. That one's tough, man. I feel like I've done so many games now. It's kind of tough. I know the one that sticks out, the one that jumps out immediately. I actually had a West Virginia Kansas State game a few weeks ago, and West Virginia was down by 25, and I thought the game was over with. And all of a sudden, they took the game into overtime. They lost.
It looked like they were going to win.
Yeah, like they were going to win, but they took the game into overtime. That game was crazy, just because you don't really see that too many times.
Right.
Like typically, a game like that, 25 down. The game's over with. The team's gonna just steamroll.
Raekwon Battle just went nuts in that game.
Yeah, and then Raekwon Battle just was absolutely crazy.
Right.
Just hitting shots that NBA players hit.
Yeah.
But that game was probably, from this season, probably my favorite one all time. Man, I did a women's game one time from the house. It was a SWAC women's game.
Oh, wow.
I did it at my crib.
Yeah.
And the game ended on a buzzer beater, and it was actually very entertaining, which was not what I expected. But it was very entertaining. Went into overtime, ended on a buzzer beater. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Yeah,
that was a really good one. But yeah, man, I've done a lot of games now. So
you had the I saw your on Instagram the call where Nelson hit the.
That was a good
three.
one too.
Yeah.
TCU and Kansas State.
Yeah,
where he hit the
Kansas
crazy
State was on the
three.
other end of that.
He hit the crazy three, and all of a sudden, nobody expected that one.
Right.
That was a good one.
It was the perfect defense, and he just hit a great shot.
He just hit a great shot. But I mean, I've been blessed to be able to call a lot of good games, especially in the Big 12. They've been keeping me in the Big 12 a lot. I mean, it's the best conference in college basketball, and it's been a blessing to be able to do that, and I don't take it for granted. So
a lot of close games.
A lot of close games for sure.
Walker, we got more calls?
Yeah, we got a couple more.
All right.
This is another
This
one.
is active. We're not going to get to any of the questions in the chat, but thank you for all the calls. This is great. Welcome to the postgame.
How we doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
How we doing?
Awesome.
Good. So I had a couple things to say, but y'all guys just took the entire conversation way to something that reminded me of my freshman year in high school about the greatest high school basketball team. And I do have to give a shout out to the 2000 La Vega Pirates that finished number 3 ranked USA Today. That is a fact. Ranked number 3 USA Today.
Yeah.
They had 3 All-State players. One, Mario Kinsey, went to Kansas. And you can call Coach Kevin Gill. I believe he's still over at McLean Community College coaching today. That was a hell of a year, hell of a team. Just
was that their only Division I player?
So,
Who were their other Division I players?
Maybe a couple more, but I do know that USA Today, they finished number 3 in the country. That is a fact. Number 3 USA Today poll.
I was waiting on it.
Rankings, however they did it back in 2000.
Yeah,
I was waiting on the list.
State championship. Yeah. I'm not saying the list. I'm just saying
there have been some good ones in
there.
Texas.
So,
I
that's all I'm
remember,
saying.
Shout out.
So, hey, no joke. Hey, we were playing so great that year. We attempted a bounce pass alley oop in the state championship game because we were beating the hell out of them so bad that game. It was amazing.
So you were on that team, is what you're saying?
No, I was not on that team. I was there. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Got to give a shout out to the Waco La Vega Pirates.
All right, sounds good.
Amazing year.
He said
anyway.
we like he was, he was the one who threw the bounce pass.
Took ownership, yeah.
Shout out to the Vega Pirates.
It was just a great year. Anyway, hey, King McClure, I just want to say, hey, I just want to tell you, you've done an amazing job on ESPN. You're one of the best analysts they have. I think this Saturday you should be calling that UNC Duke game, not Jay Bayless. That's just my opinion. All right, ESPN is doing a disservice to America not having you on College Game Day every Saturday. You are amazing.
He's really good. Yeah, no doubt.
That being said, so pumped for this game that we just had. I love the comeback, the game. Ashley, you know my thoughts on Texas. I hate them more than any other team in this damn conference. I'm so glad we beat the hell out of this game. This is great.
Forever scoreboard on Oklahoma and Texas.
For just, everything. Yeah, it was great. My one question I do have to King, since you're on tonight, I have to ask you a question. This is the most important thing I've always wanted to ask. I would love to say in a 7-game series, the 2021 national championship team versus your squad, the 2016-2017 team. I always wondered the length y'all had against that number 1 ranked 2017 team, 2016, maybe carrying the 2018. Your career, that very tall team versus the guard heavy 2021 team in a 7-game series. Who's taking the win? Who's going to win that? I would love to get your honest opinion. Because I've always wondered, man, that 2017, 2016, 2015, even going to 2014, when we were like just giants. We had you and just everyone it was like, do y'all out-rebound the hell out of that 21 national championship team and beat them in 7 games? I don't know. But I've always wondered it, and I would love to get your opinion on that. And I'm going to hang up and listen because I want to hear it. Thank y'all.
Man, I've actually never been asked this. This is actually a very, very good question. I think that the team I was on was deeper.
Yeah.
I think we were deeper because I think that when you look at starting 5 pound for pound, I don't think that there was anything that Flo could do with Jonathan Motley.
Right.
And I think Jonathan Motley might make the biggest difference in this game. Because Jonathan Motley, one-on-one down low, you got us in a double.
Yeah.
And we just had so many shooters around him that you're probably going to be in trouble.
Right.
So defensively, I mean, we would have fed Mott the whole game and they weren't very deep in the post. They had John when John was healthy, and they have Flo,
Matt Meyer,
I mean, they have Mark, but
I mean, you got a big advantage in the front court.
We have a huge advantage in the front court.
Backcourt, probably advantage to the 21 team.
Yeah, but our guards were still
Manu.
We had Manu, Al Freeman, and Al Freeman was a bucket getter. Al Freeman went to NC State and just went crazy.
Right.
Then I came off the bench. I ended up starting towards the end of the year.
Right.
But I came off the bench. Jake Lindsey came off the bench. Wendell Mitchell came off the bench. Wendell Mitchell started at Texas A&M when he left Baylor.
Ish was
a starter.
Guy.
We had Joe on that team.
Right.
I mean, defensively, pound for pound, like, we had the length.
Yeah.
Honestly, in a 7-game series, I think that
Terry Maston.
Oh, we had Terry Maston too.
Yeah. He was,
they couldn't. They wouldn't be. I don't think they'd be able to guard us.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to go. But I think we could guard them.
Yeah.
Because I think we put Ish on. Well, honestly, we would have went zone, and I think our zone would have messed them up.
Right.
Because Davion we would have lived with Davion shooting.
Yeah.
We would have tried to take away Maceo and Jared from the 3-point line. Honestly, I think in the 7-game series we win.
Yeah.
I think in the 7-game series we win.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. That team was probably one of the greatest teams of all time.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
That team was one of the greatest. But I think because we would have went zone and we had the length, I think that was the game changer. I think if we go man against them, I think they beat us. But I think because we primarily played zone that season, I think our length would have caused them problems. Because you're right. I mean, we were long. Right. Ish on one wing, Mon on the other wing, and me and Al were both like 6'3", 6'4" in the guard spot, and Joe protecting the rim.
Yeah.
Like we were long in that zone.
Team. Like if Molly doesn't get hurt, doesn't have the knee injury, that's probably who knows what would have happened, But I mean,
yeah, I mean, in a 7-game series, I think that we might get them 4-3. Honestly, it's going to go to 7 games. It's going to go 7 games either way. Either they're going to get us 4-3, we're going to get them 4-3, but it's going to go a good 7. But I think the zone is a determining factor. How they shoot the ball against the zone would have been the determining factor.
Yeah. Good question. All right, we got any more calls? We got one more.
Yep, we got Cletus.
Okay. Cletus, you've been holding for so long. Welcome to the Postgame Call-In Show.
Well, thank you for taking my call, Ashley. My name is actually Billy Bob Joe Jack, but my friends do call me Cletus.
Billy Bob Joe Jack.
I've always been a big fan of yours, as you know. My nephew did try to get your autograph again tonight. I thought it was a little excessive, and your personal security used billy clubs on him, and he's only 8 years old. That seems a bit excessive. But I have to say, it was a real joy watching us teabag those weirdos that reside in People's Republic of Austin. And we're sent them off to the SC whatever in proper Baylor form. King, Mr. McClure, you're definitely one of my favorite Bears of all time. You have more fans than you realize. We're enjoying watching you have a successful career in sports media. You rank in the pantheon of many of the best, most loved Baylor players of all time, like Tweety, Davion, Jared and Maceo and Vital and Flo and the champions, AC, RG3, and even
you gonna name every single
Austin
one?
Sachs to get that. Yeah, Austin Sachs hit that clutch game winner the other day.
Yeah.
But my question
okay,
to you, sir, is How does it feel to be more famous than Ashley Hodge?
It's a low bar.
Man, you know, I will just say that, you know, the amount of love that I've gotten just from the Baylor community and the Baylor fan base, just like ever since I started my TV journey, has been honestly just incredible. I mean, honestly, I think that's one thing that really keeps me going sometimes, because it's one of those things where, you know, I never would have been here. I never imagined myself being here without the support and the love that the fan base gave. I mean, without me going to Baylor, I don't think I ever would consider doing what I'm doing right now. And I mean, even you look at all the people that helped me get to where I'm getting. I mean, you played a role in it, Ashley. I mean, J-Mo, you look at Smokey, you look at DK, Coach Drew. I mean, so many people from the Baylor community pitched in and helped me to achieve this dream of mine and achieve this goal. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Every single person, like when I go back to the Farrell Center and everybody's telling me like, hey, we love watching you on television. Like, I'm telling you, that right there, Ashley, like I played basketball for 25 years, 23 years of my life.
Yeah.
But when people tell me that they love what I do on the television screen, when I tell you it means so much more to me, it hits just so much deeper, because it's something that I thought that I would never, ever be doing. And to like get the approval of like, I mean, I don't live for the approval, but to get the approval and to get the support of people when it was something that was never, ever a thought in my mind just means the world to me. Like when people literally tell me like, I love what you do, and I tell them, hey, that means so much to me, I don't just say that just to like keep it rolling. I genuinely mean that, because when I hear that, I don't know, just brings something up in me that I had never felt before. Like, no matter how many times people tell me I was a good basketball player, like that was cool and all, right?
Yeah.
But to hear this and to get the love from the Baylor community that I've received and I keep receiving, man, it's incredible. And I thank every one of my supporters, everybody who's helped me get here, everybody from the Baylor community, because I truly would not be able to be here and do what I do without you guys. So thank you to everybody, and I genuinely mean that, for real.
No, man, you really work hard at your craft, and you're getting better every game. Kudos to you for the effort. I mean, what you put into it. You're one of the best, man, and I just love watching your success, and congratulations on it.
I appreciate that. And I don't know if this is public yet, but I think it's not. I think I'll be on the Big 12 halftime shows and the post-game shows.
Oh, awesome!
For the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the
sweet.
Championship.
Awesome.
So you tune in.
Yeah.
You'll see me at halftime. It'll be me, Sean Farnham, and Kevin Connors. I don't know if I was supposed to release that information yet, but oh well, I did it. But it's the Baylor fans.
That's
right.
Baylor
support.
It won't go. Yeah.
So I'll be on. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, my first time being on the ESPN, like the main ESPN.
Right.
I've been on ESPN2 a lot,
right?
But the main ESPN will be my first time. So once again, I mean, thank you to everybody. Like, it wouldn't be possible for me to even think about doing this if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for everything.
Yep, I love it. Well, hey, listen, we'll call it a wrap. You've been listening to a Sikkim 365 postgame show with Ashley Hodge and King McClure after Baylor's 93-85 win against Texas again. 14 out of the last 17. Terrific job for the Bears. Let's go beat Texas Tech. Let's get on a roll as we head into this Big 12 tournament. Sikkim Bears.